now what? Well,
now what?
Now what, Carol?
Well, exactly. Now what?
Now what indeed? Now what, Carol Vordeman? I tell you what, Carol Vordeman, why don't you sod off, you sanctimonious wench?
Here's Daniel Boland. Oh, Daniel Boland, this is a heavy hitter. Do you guys know who this is?
Did you look? You were, frankly, hugely politically invested in the election campaign. You've never made any secret about that.
Politically independent, so it's about tactical voting, because all we have is the first past the post system.
Oh, Carol Vordeman doesn't like the system. Where did you learn about first past the post? A-level politics, Carol. You know, the only system I want to hear your thoughts on are the big clock on countdown. I'll take 1 large and 5 small, please, Carol.
I prefer meat and 2 veg, if you know what I mean. Which I do not agree with.
One of the things you want to fix?
One of the things I want to fix, proportional representation.
Oh, God, these celebrities and their midlife crises, you know, where they start getting all obsessed about politics and presenting age-old ideas as though they were their own proportional representation. Pull the other one, as though that was going to fix anything, you bellend.
Labour wouldn't even have an overall majority if it was PR. Plus mandatory voting, as they have had in Australia for over 100 years.
What, you have to vote or you get sent to prison?
Well, the thing is, the disconnect now between the voter and the Westminster bubble has never been larger.
Yeah, well, not as large as the disconnect between you and I, Carol. You want to expand voting, you want to make it mandatory, you want more people voting in Britain. I tell you, if I had my way, I'd be repealing voting rights left, right and centre for all kinds of collectives. I'd take us right back to the 1700s. All kinds of administrative hoops the citizens of Daniel Boland's Britain would have to jump through. You know, there'd be IQ tests, you'd be hooked up to running machines, wires coming out of your chest and measuring your brain waves as men in white lab coats stand around making notes. It would be absolutely nightmarish. It would look like a Rocky montage.
You know this, Ed. So of those people who could have registered and voted in July, on July the 4th, only 52% of those voted. So of those who were registered, it was slightly higher, but it was still the second lowest in, 100 years, or certainly post-war.
Ooh, big whoop. I don't get... Look, I'm going to give you my hot take on voting. I don't vote, never have, don't think I ever will. And I'll tell you why, okay? Don't all go mental in the comments, right? I don't need another Russell Brand video on my hands. Judge not, lest ye be judged, please, okay? I don't vote, and this is why. I feel like if I'm not kicking up a big fuss about politics all the time, if I'm not changing hearts and minds up and down the country about politics, why the hell would my one vote count? And I understand, I'm not an idiot. I understand that if everyone thought like that, then no one would vote. So what? The only reason you would need a big change is if a situation is so insufferable where you live that you absolutely must do something to stop it or to change it, right? And that won't be going out to vote. Ooh, there, that'll stop Hitler or whatever. No, it won't. You'd have to take up arms against whatever was destroying you or oppressing you, wouldn't you? So I don't vote, and I don't like people who boast about who they vote for, just as I don't like people dropping to their knees barefoot, cross-legged on a stage in front of thousands of gullible idiots. I do not enjoy the company of people who wear little wristbands with the name of their political party on it and shit like that, all the paraphernalia. Because you're basically what you're doing there is anyone who votes for the same party sort of goes, oh, he's one of us. It's like going to a swingers club and wearing the right colour little fucking handkerchief or whatever it is. I like the golden showers. The yellow handkerchief, right? It's like something like that to me. It's that gay to be proud of whatever political party you vote for. And what else? Yeah, and if somebody doesn't agree with you, they're not going to go, oh crap, that guy voted and he's pretty cool, so now I'm going to vote. There's just going to be a visceral reaction if they're really into politics as well. They're going to be like, I don't like that guy. He's wearing a little wristband from a party that I don't like. Point is, I'm very much an individual, a rogue, a maverick, okay? An anarchist. I'm pretty bloody scary, that's all I know.
So the disconnect, we have more news shows, we have more news channels, we have more of this, more, and people are less connected. And that is wrong. So fundamentally, there has to be a change.
Hey! Pipe down, countdown lady. What do you mean, fundamental changes? Fundamental. Huh? That sounds like a charity for retards. Seriously, though, where do these washed-up celebs get off, telling us that we need fundamental changes to our systems and everything? Who do you think you are, Carol Vordeman? The Taliban?
What do you think? We just interviewed Jonathan Reynolds from the government about a policy that they are adamant is the right thing to do. Apparently they were forced into it.
Oh, you may well look like that, Carol, because I've got you here. So if you don't know what they're talking about here, what they're alluding to is the government's decision to take away pensioners' winter fuel, their winter fuel allowance. So basically in the UK, pensioners have come to depend on 10 million pensioners have come to depend on a £200 to £300 payout every winter to help pay for their heating bills. And now, in the middle of September, the government has just announced that this year, nah. But they are raising pensions by 4% next year. So every month their checks will be slightly higher next year by 4%. So that's all right then. This winter, well, we'll just assume that the pensioners have got a little nest egg. Some might freeze to death, but it's a necessary sacrifice. Now, this shows to me, that's obviously something that Carol Vordeman has the sagacity. She knows that she can't say, yeah, I think it's great that some of the pensioners can fuck off, we're sick of paying for them. She can't say that. Obviously, she thinks the winter fuel allowance being taken away from the pensioners is a bad thing. Who would say otherwise, right? Well, most of the government, I guess. But the point is, you ask her for solutions, and she can't say, the obvious stuff, that the government is throwing money into voids all over the place, on things that we're not supposed to talk about. She can't say that. She starts talking about how in her book I have talked about a tax reform where blah, 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 blah. The billionaires, the typical scapegoats. We don't know what the long, short-term effects will be of raising tax slightly on the few billionaires that there are in the UK. We don't know if they'll all fuck off to the UAE. We don't know what the effect will be and how long it would take to reap the benefits of reforming the tax system. But that's the cowardice, the inane nature of these washed-up celebs. They won't say anything meaningful. They just want to sound good. That's all they want to do. It's meaningless blathering shite.
Well, I don't think they are
forced choice.
They absolutely aren't forced into it.
I wonder whether it's part of the disconnect that.
But I think it is part of the disconnect, and I'm shocked, quite frankly, that a Labour government has suggested this. I think it could be their poll tax moment, and very early on. So, part of what I write in the book is about tax reform. So I give evidence in it. It's very readable. It's done in a very easy
it's really
way
fun.
to read.
It's a diary and also your 10-point manifesto.
Ooh, it's an easy read, is it, Carol? You've got a 10-point manifesto, have you? About how you're going to reform the taxes for the billionaires, you crazy Bolshevik, you. I'll tell you what, though, that will be very comforting for my nan to read. I think I'll pop out to Waterstones later and get her a copy. She can read it as she sits by her burning oil drum this winter, which she'll probably have to fuel with, documents and photos of treasured family memories, just to keep warm, just to stay alive. But the book will help, I'm sure.
My 10-point manifesto. So, the tax reform, as a for instance, private equity managers in the tax year 2020 to 2021, it was around that time. But
wow, sounds like a real political thriller, Carol. I hope there's an embedded narrative as well, with a romantic element. You could tell us of some of your liaisons and escapades.
One tax year, they earned, I say lightly, £2.7 billion. Do you know how many people earned £2.7 billion? 255 of them.
Wow, what ballers, eh? That's my takeaway from that. Any kids watching this, you want to get into the equity management game. That's where the big bucks are. Though I'm not really sure how you get into that game. How do you get a slice of the equity management pie? I guess, try to meet people who have equity and ask them nicely if they would like someone to look after it for them.
So they were earning...
If I didn't know better, I'd say Carol Vordeman was being sarcastic. What with her air quotations and all, you irreverent minx.
Earning over £10 million on average each. Mm-hmm. But they don't pay 45% tax, like somebody earning over 100 grand. They don't pay that. They pay, because they've had a special arrangement with HMRC, just 28% tax.
How much tax do the illegal... How much tax does Never mind.
Now, in 1 year, that could be 600 to 700 million pounds extra into the coffers of the Treasury.
Those damned billionaires. 600 million pounds extra a year we could be squeezing out of those nasty billionaires. I wonder if Carol keeps digging, if she'll find any other, excess waste expenditure from our government. Probably not. That's probably it.
So why hasn't she started on that? As a, for instance, capital gains. We saw Rishi Sunak eventually put his tax return forward in a sort of one-page document, and he paid on average around 22 to 23% tax because it was largely capital gains. If you are an income earner, it would have been 45% tax, and so it goes on.
And it goes on like this.
And so it goes on. Yes, another inane, vacuous celebrity giving their 2 cents, but no solutions. If you want solutions, you come to me. You come to the Daniel Boland Show. All right? I've got all the answers. If you've enjoyed the video, give it a like. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And, oh yeah, thanks to everyone who's joined my Patreon. That's really helping me out massively. So thank you to all of you. And if you want to do that, you'd be really helping out. And the link's in the description under this video. If not, I'll see you in the next video on here. Anyway, so, yeah, pretty smooth ending to the video there. My videos are as easy to watch as Carol Vordeman's books are to read. There's a couple of jokes I didn't make. I wanted to call her Carol Board-a-Man because she was boring, and I'll just show you one more thing and then we're done. All right, see you in the next one.
MOTHERFUCKERS MOTHERFUCKERS VADIANACUNT
Yeah, so that was mildly amusing, which is all we ever strive to be on the Daniel Boland Show. No lofty ambitions on this channel. We don't get ahead of our station. Do we? Do we, Leo? You dick. There you go. That's a funny thing people do now. They film their animals and shout swear words at them. Pretty funny if you ask me. Mildly amusing. At least. I'll see you in the next. Look at him. Who does he think he is? Eh? You idiot. All right. Goodbye.